astronauts took a picture of some unidentified object in space. Once people saw that picture, they were convinced that it was an alien spacecraft or some kind of flying saucer. But then that raises the question of what it might be.
In the late 1800s and early 1900s, two key figures in wireless technology, Nikola Tesla and Guglielmo Marconi, came across something unusual. Both were testing new ways to send and receive signals, and both picked up strange transmissions that didn't match anything known at the time. Many now think these signals might have come from the object called the Black Knight satellite. Tesla, known for developing alternating current electricity, noticed signals that had a regular, almost mathematical pattern. He couldn't explain them as natural or man-made, and even suggested they might be coming from Mars, since he was interested in the idea of life beyond Earth. At roughly the same time, Marconi, the inventor who made radio communication across the Atlantic possible, also picked up mysterious signals during his tests. Like Tesla, he found no clear explanation. These early experiences are seen by some as the first possible encounters with the Black Knight, an object believed by some researchers to orbit Earth and possibly have an alien origin. Later in the 20th century, Donald Keyhoe, a former Marine aviator turned UFO researcher, brought more attention to this topic. He led the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena, NICAP, pushing for serious investigation into UFO sightings. NICAP gathered many reports that could be related to the Black Knight. Their work helped make discussions about the satellite more accepted and urged governments to be more transparent about unexplained aerial events. This boosted public interest and raised questions about what might be orbiting our planet. Another person who played a part in shaping this narrative was Lincoln LaPaz, an American astronomer and professor at the University of New Mexico. LaPaz specialized in the study of meteors and worked with the U.S. government on tracking and identifying unidentified objects in the sky. Although his work didn't directly mention the Black Knight satellite, his research into unknown aerial phenomena added to the broader investigation of mysterious objects in space. LaPaz's contributions were especially important because of his scientific background. His methodical approach helped move the discussion around these unidentified objects from speculation to serious study. By applying academic rigor to his research, LaPaz helped shift public and professional attitudes toward taking these topics more seriously. Altogether, Tesla and Marconi's early experiments with unexplained signals, Keyhoe and NICAP's efforts to push for serious UFO research, and LaPaz's work in classifying unidentified aerial objects helped form the early foundation of the Black Knight satellite story. Although these efforts came from different fields, they contributed to a shared curiosity about this strange object believed to be circling Earth. Interest in the Black Knight satellite increased further when the term unknown orbiting object began to surface among scientists and the general public. This phrase summed up the mystery around a strange object seen in Earth's orbit that didn't match anything that was officially launched or recognized. Its unusual characteristics led to even more questions that still don't have clear answers. One of the most interesting things about this object was its retrograde orbit. In simple terms, that means it was moving in the opposite direction of Earth's rotation. This was especially surprising because, at the time it was first spotted, human technology didn't have the ability to create such an orbit. That fact alone sparked theories that the object might not be something made by humans. Public interest in the Black Knight satellite grew sharply on February 10, 1960, when John Finney, a reporter for the New York Times, published a story claiming the U.S. military had detected an unknown object circling Earth. This article marked a turning point, as it was one of the first times a well-known source mentioned the object publicly. Finney's report brought the Black Knight into broader public attention, turning it from a topic of small circles into one that drew widespread interest and discussion. even though the military didn't confirm what the object was, their acknowledgement gave some weight to the growing number of theories. Jacques Vallée, who worked as a computer scientist, astronomer, and UFO researcher, became heavily involved in studying the Black Knight satellite. He would later inspire the French scientist character in Steven Spielberg's film Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Vallée took part in efforts to track, photograph, and film the object, especially focusing on its polar orbit. A polar orbit, which allows a satellite to pass over almost every part of the Earth, was something that U.S. space technology couldn't yet accomplish at the time. His observations of the object in this type of orbit raised new questions. It suggested the satellite had been placed in a strategic position, possibly to monitor the entire planet. Another strange detail was the size of the Black Knight. Reports said it was far too big to have been launched using the rockets available back then. That raised even more questions about where it came from and why it was there. If humans didn't send it into space, then who did? And for what reason? The technology behind the Black Knight seemed far ahead of its time. It appeared to have features that not only didn't exist back then, but may still be beyond what we can do now. This led to a wide range of ideas, including the possibility that it might be an alien-made object or part of a secret project. The mystery deepened with an incident involving astronaut Gordon Cooper. He was one of the original 7 astronauts in Project Mercury, the first U.S. program to send people into space. While in orbit, Cooper claimed he saw a strange craft. Given his status and experience, his account attracted serious attention. His report added a human layer to the story.
Flying objects.
Yes, they were flying quite high. How high we couldn't tell because we couldn't get anywhere near their altitude. But they were either very large craft way up or smaller craft still well above what we could get.
Suggesting that the Black Knight wasn't just a distant, unknown object. It was something that had come close to human explorers. As more research and reports emerged about the Black Knight satellite, it became harder to dismiss the idea that this was no ordinary object. Between its unusual orbit, the level of technology it seemed to display, and the number of credible people who had seen or studied it, it started to seem like something truly different. Then came one of the most surprising developments: a claim that the satellite had transmitted a message, and that someone had managed to decode it. In 1973, a new chapter began when Duncan Lunan, a Scottish author and astronomer, made a bold claim. Fascinated by the mystery of the Black Knight, he decided to take a closer look at the data linked to it. After spending time analyzing the signals, Lunan said he was able to decode a message that had supposedly been sent by the object. His method involved studying the patterns in the signals believed to come from the satellite. After a detailed review, he claimed to find a message hidden in those signals. This wasn't just a short transmission. It was a star map and communication, unlike anything ever discovered in space research or alien studies. The Black Knight satellite mystery grew more intriguing with an event involving the Space Shuttle Endeavour during its STS-88 mission, which launched on December 4, 1998. On this mission, astronauts aboard the Endeavour took a series of photos that seemed to show an unidentified object orbiting Earth. These pictures, captured on December 11, 1998, revealed a black, shapeless form that some believed to be the Black Knight satellite. When these images were released to the public, interest in the Black Knight story was renewed, offering visual proof that something unusual was indeed circling the planet. The Endeavour mission photos sparked analysis and debate among scientists and the public alike. Skeptics suggested the images might just show a thermal blanket or some ordinary piece of space debris. However, supporters of the Black Knight theory viewed these photos as solid proof of the satellite's existence, backing up the claims made by Lunan and others. The decoded message from the Black Knight satellite, as interpreted by Duncan Lunan, represented a change in how we understand the universe and our role within it. If the message was genuine and correctly interpreted, it implied that Earth had been monitored by an advanced alien civilization for thousands of years. Such a discovery would have wide-reaching effects. It would challenge what we know about human history, our technological progress, and even our beliefs about life beyond our planet. The message also raised questions about the intentions of the civilization behind the Black Knight. Was it simply observing, or did it have a more direct purpose or message for humanity? The idea that we are not alone in the universe and that Earth has been part of a cosmic interaction for thousands of years was both exciting and unsettling. It opened up a new area of human knowledge, one that connected science with the unexplained aspects of our existence. Duncan Lunan's decoding of the Black Knight satellite's message in 1973 marked an important moment in the story of this strange object. The message's interpretation as a map from Epsilon Botus, its mention of an ancient arrival date, and the photographic evidence from the Endeavour's 1998 mission all helped build the growing legend of the Black Knight. One interesting theory suggests the Black Knight satellite might be an artifact left behind by ancient humans, perhaps a relic from a lost advanced civilization on Earth. This idea is based on various myths and legends from cultures worldwide, which talk about ancient gods or beings with advanced knowledge and technology. The theory proposes that these gods were actually ancestors who had reached a technological level far beyond what is commonly accepted in history. Supporters argue that the Black Knight might be a piece of technology launched into space by this ancient civilization, possibly to monitor Earth or serve as a space navigation beacon. This artifact, surviving for thousands of years, could have been mistaken by modern observers as an alien satellite. The idea gains support from ancient texts and structures that reference celestial objects and show an advanced understanding of astronomy beyond what was previously believed. NASA, however, has provided a simpler explanation for the Black Knight phenomenon. The space agency says the object is likely space debris, specifically a thermal blanket lost during a shuttle mission. This conclusion comes from photos taken during various shuttle missions, where similar objects have been identified as parts of spacecraft or insulation that became detached. NASA's position is that although unidentified objects do sometimes appear in space, most have logical explanations. In the case of the Black Knight, their analysis points to it being a human-made object mistakenly identified as something alien. Besides the theory of it being an ancient artifact or NASA's explanation, there are other ideas about the Black Knight satellite, including a device from aliens. One common theory is that the Black Knight is a device placed in orbit by extraterrestrial beings. This device might monitor human activity, study Earth's environment, or serve as a communication relay. The exact purpose is unknown, but supporters point to the satellite's unusual orbit and longevity as evidence of its alien origin, a secret military satellite. Some believe the Black Knight might be a classified military satellite from the US or another country. This idea suggests the satellite could be used for spying, signal intelligence, or other covert operations. The secretive nature of such a project might explain the lack of official information and the growth of conspiracy theories. A natural space object. Another less popular idea is that the Black Knight could be a natural object captured by Earth's gravity. This might be a small asteroid or comet fragment now orbiting the planet. While this theory doesn't explain the reported signals or observations of a structured object, it could account for some sightings, a hoax or misunderstanding. Lastly, it is possible that the entire Black Knight story is the result of a hoax, a misinterpretation, or a series of unrelated incidents that have been mistakenly connected. This view suggests that the sightings, photos, and reports might be deliberate fabrications or mistaken identifications of ordinary objects or natural events. The Black Knight satellite remains one of the most discussed mysteries in the fields of space observation and UFO research. The theories about where it comes from and what it is vary widely, from scientifically possible explanations to ideas that sound like science fiction. Whether it's an ancient artifact, space junk, an alien surveillance device, a secret military satellite, a natural object in space, or just a misunderstanding, the Black Knight continues to attract curiosity worldwide. Since there's no clear proof, speculation and further research are still ongoing. As our technology improves and our knowledge of space grows, we might one day find out the truth about this object. It could turn out to be just a minor detail in space exploration history or a key to a bigger cosmic mystery. The Black Knight satellite stands at the intersection of curiosity, doubt, and our human drive to understand what we don't yet know. This object, said to orbit Earth, has become a symbol of the mysteries that remain beyond our planet. It challenges what we think about technology, history, and possibly life beyond Earth. In trying to solve the Black Knight mystery, credible researchers from around the world have carried out different studies and investigations. These include analyzing radio signals, tracking the object's orbit, reviewing historical records, and conducting detailed astronomical observations. Scientists have used radio telescopes to try to capture and decode any signals coming from the object, hoping to learn about its purpose or origin. Space agencies and independent groups have monitored its movements to see if they can learn anything about its function or intentions. Historians and archaeologists have looked again at old texts and artifacts to find any possible connection to the Black Knight's claimed ancient history. While these studies often raise more questions than answers, they are important for keeping scientific research active and making sure that claims are based on verifiable evidence. Governments around the world have different views on the Black Knight satellite, ranging from dismissing it outright to cautiously admitting that it remains unexplained. Most official organizations, including NASA, say the sightings can be explained as space debris or mistaken natural objects. Still, ongoing interest and speculation have made some governments more willing to look into such unexplained phenomena. Released and declassified documents from various space and defense agencies have shed some light, but often add to the uncertainty. The lack of solid proof or official confirmation has led to theories about cover-ups and secret space programs. This secrecy helps keep the idea alive that the Black Knight is more than just space junk, keeping the mystery going. The Black Knight satellite raises many theoretical questions and ideas. If it were confirmed to be an alien object, it would prove that intelligent life exists beyond Earth and suggest that such life is interested in our planet. This would change how we see our place in the universe and could affect space exploration and international relations. If, on the other hand, the Black Knight turned out to be an ancient human artifact, it would change what we know about early civilizations. It might show that people in the past were much more advanced than we thought, possibly having lost knowledge or technology over time. If it's just space debris or a natural object mistaken for something else, that also has meaning. It highlights how difficult it is to observe space accurately and interpret the data we get. It reminds us of how much we still don't know and why continuing scientific study is important. The Black Knight satellite has also been featured a lot in media and pop culture, appearing in books, movies, and TV shows. This has increased public interest and shaped how people think about the object. Often, the line between fact and fiction gets blurred in these portrayals, influencing how the general public views the Black Knight. Looking ahead, the mystery of the Black Knight remains open for future research. Advances in space technology, like better telescopes, improved satellite tracking, and deep space probes, might eventually give us clearer answers. Also, as interest in space grows and new players like private space companies get involved, the chances of uncovering the Black Knight's true nature go up. These future missions could finally reveal whether it's a relic from the past, evidence of alien contact, or just a misunderstood piece of modern space activity. The Black Knight satellite continues to be one of the most fascinating and lasting mysteries in space exploration. It shows our desire to learn and our persistence in facing the unknown. The Black Knight satellite, with all its mystery, stands as a symbol of our collective effort to understand the cosmos and our place within it. So what are your thoughts on this mystery? Tell us in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more content.